G'day guys, welcome back to a team update for the 6th of March 2022. It's about 11 a.m. as I'm recording this, so I'm yet to see today's games, but this is the team at this point in time. And before I get into it, I just want to quickly pay my respects to Shane Warne. We've lost, an absolute legend here, and to me, cricket will just never be the same, and yeah, it still hasn't sunk in yet, and we're definitely going to miss him, so yeah, massive tragedy yesterday, and I definitely had a VB for him. So, yeah, rest in peace, Warney. And, yeah, we'll get stuck into the video anyway. So, at D1, Jaden Short. So, this one's quite interesting because I had Ridley there for that spot. Keep in mind, Ridley is by far my favourite player. Being an Essendon supporter, I just absolutely love him. I've got his number on the Guernsey. That's how much of a player he is to me. But for a Supercoach sense, watching Jaden Short yesterday against Hawthorn, he just looked really at home without Hooley in the side. Had 31 disposals, 26 kicks, and, well, get this, a 94% disposal efficiency rate. So that is just unbelievable. Probably going to have to get tagged. That's how effective he is off half-back. And Devonport wasn't even a big oval. It looked pretty small as well. So, and he still was able to find that much space. So, yeah, I'm locking in Jaden Short at this point in time, which, yeah, it's hard to do without Ridley. I'm trying to find out a way where I can have both of them, but it's probably a bit ambitious having, Whitfield as well, who, yeah, we'll wait and see on Whitfield today. Yeah, I'm not sure how he's going to score. He's just been locked and loaded in my side almost since day one. Super unders, and yeah, just needs to stay on the park. But I think he'll be a pretty good option for us. So, yeah, locking in Whitfield for now. And James Sicily, is he a lock or a must-have? I'm not really sure. I watched him yesterday and he had 16 disposals, only one handball, which is good, but wasn't really his best game. A couple of panic kicks as well. I mean, a bit fumbly at times. Is he just adjusting back to AFL level? I'm not sure. He's in over 35% of teams, so he seems to be a little bit of a must-have for that price. I would love to find 80 or 90k somehow so I can turn him into Ridley. That would be really good, but with all the lack of the rookies coming through, I just don't see how that's going to be realistic at all. So next player here, George Hewitt. I've got some stats here that I've written last week and on Friday night. I tracked this pick really quite promptly. So we'll start with the St Kilda game because that was the first one. But he had 14 centre bounce attendances, 27 disposals, and a midfield split with Kennedy. So that was pretty convincing in what was a very low-scoring game. And against Melbourne, he had 22 CBAs. I'm not sure how many disposals he had. I think he had 30, which is still pretty good, and still sharing the midfield load with Kennedy as well. So, yeah, I really like Hewitt at that price. Scored, I think, 99 against St Kilda and 106 or something like that against Melbourne, and didn't have any tackles at all on Friday night. So, yeah, that's a good pick, and he fills in a hole in which we are bleeding in rookies, especially in defence. So that brings me on to Mitch Hinge. So he come in yesterday for, you'll notice I've got no Dylan Stevens down here. I couldn't have the funds to run both of them, but we have, O'Driscoll's not playing this week. That was very surprising. I thought he was a pretty good candidate for round one, and I was hopeful that he was going to get a bit of a run at it. But yeah, with all this carnage and the lack of rookies, I've got Hinge in there. Wasn't unreal, but I just think he's solid, and if he stays injury-free with that shoulder, he should have pretty good job security. And I've got Josh Sin here as well. Not with all the confidence in the world. Only played a half of footy in the second half, so I'm sort of turned it off and lost interest, but not sure how he tracked, but seems more than likely to play round one. Bonner was definitely keeping him out of the side, though, which was really quite alarming. So, yeah, we have a bit of a problem with defence rookies, and we just got to have our fingers crossed that something better comes up. We got Paddy McCartan, who I don't have in my team. That's actually who I turned Hinge into, just because of the funds. But it could be a matter of Sings McCartan, or we'll see how we go. Got Brody Kemp as well. He didn't play on Friday, playing forward, so he could be a bit of a liability. But a bit of a shamble here, but we'll just wait and see what happens. The rookies will change over the team reveal. No doubt about that. O'Driscoll just touched on him, and DeConning, I think he'll play most games, but yeah, bench option. There's no one else really, so he's just whatever. Midfielders, Jackson Macrae. How good is it watching Jackson Macrae just absolutely rack it up? It's the same thing every single year. Oh yeah, same thing, different year for Macrae. Still had 30 disposals, just did whatever he wanted. Perfect VC captain, lock him in. I'm not going to go into it. Jack Steele didn't do a whole lot last night. Was wrapped in cotton wool in the fourth quarter. They didn't really want to take their chances with him. It was just carnage city for St Kilda, unfortunately. We lost Hunter Clark, which affects my draft, but that's another story. But yeah, I'm locking in Jack Steele. Absolutely love him as a pick. Didn't even have a tackle, I don't think, which was quite surprising. But yeah, when the real stuff comes in next couple of weeks, he will stand up and be a really good option. So yeah, locking in these two. But then this is where it gets a bit interesting because Touk Miller, I'm not going to lie, I have flirted with dropping him for Paddy Cripps and then turning like one of these rookies here into Matt Rowell. And then, well, that would mean Ward would be on the bench. But what's going on here? That would mean that Ward would be on the bench. And I don't know about that. I've been running with Touk Miller all year. He's one of my favourite players at the moment. I just love what he does, and he's going to benefit even more than he did having Wits back in the team. Hopefully hitting it down his chest. So I don't think Touk Miller's going to go anywhere. It could change, but depending on how much I get sucked into Paddy Cripps and it's all about Matt Rowell as well. If he scores 140 against Geelong, I will honestly be considering dropping Touk for Cripps and Rowell, because there's just so much value. It's just unbelievable at the moment. But yeah, let me know what you guys reckon of that one. Is that a good decision? Should I stick with my gut here and go, they're the big four, or is there just too much value in the midfield to pass up with Cripper and Rowell? Because Cripper absolutely tore it to shreds, had 30, kicked 4 goals. The goals are a bit flukish. You won't do that every week, but just at the stoppages looked every bit like his best in 2019. So promising signs for him. 454k, I'm pretty sure he is. But he has burnt us before quite recently, so I do have cold feet on it. But that's something that could possibly change in my team reveal. But we'll get to that when we cross it. Lockie Neal, I'm locking him in. Just too underpriced. Had a full preseason. Has looked really clean. I don't know how he tracked against the Dogs. Wasn't that good. I don't think it was good, but it wasn't his best. But still, it's preseason, doesn't matter. He looked really good the week before, so locking him in. Joe Barry, another one that I'm happy to lock in. The value is just too good. Looks fit and playing a pretty high amount of time on ground too. So I think it's going to be possible to drop Barry at this point in time for 268k. What a steal this is. So, happy with that. Horn Francis and Dacos, lock these guys in. But then, Josh Ward, this is interesting. So I jumped on the Supercoach Mates podcast on Friday night before I got a chance to watch Ward yesterday. And I sort of bagged the pick out a little bit, saying that he hasn't even shown enough when he played against Collingwood. Looked a bit sluggish, but didn't he just flip the script on this, because he was by far Hawthorn's best player, had 30 touches, I believe, and he was sort of talked down for bad disposal efficiency in a way that was a bit of a problem, and he was actually kicking pretty good, high 70%, pretty sure. So, I'm locking in Josh Ward. I can't believe I'm saying that after pretty much writing him off, but he looked really good yesterday, and he's a guarantee round one. He will play. There is no doubt about that. And so will this man here, Connor McDonald. He should play too. He looked very nice. Got onto a goal, which was good to see. I really rate him, and someone that I think we can comfortably have on our bench. And the other two, absolutely no idea. Jackson Mead, I said this on Twitter, but I don't know if you guys follow The Pair by Anthony. He's Port Adelaide YouTuber. He knows everything about him, and he was saying that Mead and Sin were more than likely to play round one, but I haven't seen enough from Mead. He's just there as a placeholder. Will probably change, and then Soligo, I'm pretty sure that he's played yesterday. Don't know how well he went, but another sort of placeholder. These rookies will change, probably except McDonald. So ideally, in a perfect world, I would love to have Dylan Stephens just on the bench for that cover, but I only have 27.5k in the bank. I don't have the funds to quite get there, so that is a problem. So Ruck's set and forget. I've actually thought about run with Gawn. He looked pretty good. He's playing down back a little bit more, so we'll take some intercepts, which is quite handy when Jackson's stealing the ruck load. But at the moment, I'm happy to run Darcy. His ceiling is just so high, and without injuries, we saw what he could do, especially in the back half of last year. So if fit, almost presents a little bit of value because he was absolutely belting it. And then Grundy, I'm locking him in. I think he's in for a big year, once and for all. And then Dixon. So I think he plays, whether it's early or not, I'm not too sure. But with the news of Jack Darling probably going to miss all year at this point in time, I think the Eagles are on their knees to have a key forward, and maybe that's where Dixon comes in. So I'm happy to run him as a loophole. West Coast and Fremantle play the graveyard shift almost every week. You know the one, the 4:40 Sunday night game. So perfect loophole here, DPP. So the DR loophole strat as well, where you pick a loophole that you're sort of hoping that he does come in and play at some point. So you're not all your rookies are dead. So that's my theory of Dixon. So I'm happy to run him there. And now have a look at the forward line, and honestly, nothing's changed that much. I have added Butters in. He wasn't in my last team update, but he is way too good to pass up on, and I've rearranged my structure, and he's pretty comfortable in there at the moment. 3 102k rookies, is that ideal? Probably not, if I'm honest, but they all seem like pretty good options. I'll discuss them now while I'm onto it. So Nick Martin yesterday had 15 or 16 disposals in a half of footy. Played on the wing, sort of half back. He will be competing with Durham, I'm pretty sure it is. Picked him up in the mid-season draft for Essendon. But he looks really, really good. I mean, there's a bit of... This is a massive call, but there's a little bit of Scott Pendlebury about him. Every time he gets the ball, he seems to have a little bit more time than most players. So I love that composure. Did butcher a shot at goal, and that's, you can't be against him for that. It's his first ever hit out. The nerves would be pumping. So I'll forgive him for that one. But 102k, I would be shocked if he didn't play round one. I think Essendon need that composure. We're a very ambitious side through the middle. We take the game on, and maybe a Nick Martin type to steady the ship a little bit. So I really like this pick, and if he's named round one, I think I'll go there. And Jack Hayes did a bit as well. Wasn't his best game, wasn't as high as I was expecting him to go, but he worked for his touches, and I think he could play a bit of a second ruck role. So Paddy Ryder didn't play. Not sure what the go is there, but that will be his major problem, I would presume, having Ryder in the mix. So it's not ideal having 3 102k rookies, but if they can all work out, I'm expecting these two to play anyway, and I'm happy to run a loophole at R3. This is a perfect loophole. A little bit of Paddy Bynes from 2019 type stuff. So pretty happy with that. So we'll talk about the forward line. Dunkley, absolutely lock him in. Throw the keys in the bush. I mean, he's probably as big as a lock as any player in this squad. He's going to score really high. He was number 1 ranked midfielder before he got injured. Maybe even player in 2021 up until about round 6 or 7 when he went down. So Dunkley, absolutely locking him in. Love this pick, and you're going to lose if you don't select him this year. Isaac Heaney, always going to have durability problems, but playing midfield, he will score better, and he will score great regardless. Just needs to play regularly, which is the main thing with him. How does Papley affect him? So with with an extra forward gone, will they need Heaney down there again? That's a question that I can't really answer, but I do worry about it, but hopefully not. Maybe they just need him in the midfield a little bit more because he's a superstar, and that's what he was pretty much drafted to do. So, yeah, locking in Heaney, and I'm locking in Butters as well. I didn't watch much of the showdown game yesterday, but yeah, from what I've heard from Butters this off season, just looks unbelievable, and I think he's ready to take the next step as a real breakout pick. 443k, yeah, lock that in every day of the week. So yeah, these four, matter of fact, Cornelio as well, they will not change unless an injury comes up. So yeah, Cornelio probably second most owned player in the comp, alongside Nick Dacos. So, yep, lock this guy in. He will present some real good value. Heard good things about him too at training as well, saying that he's having a full preseason. He looks pretty good, and that's enough for me. So this next pick, one Hugo, Ralph Smith, very interesting one. So in my last team update, this was Charlie Curnow, and yeah, it didn't take much for me to drop him, if I'm honest. The upside was really good, don't get me wrong, but any form of injury concern in the preseason is an immediate red flag. And yeah, not done his knee, but hurt his knee enough for him to miss the clash against who they play. I bloody hate that. Carlton. Melbourne. Jeez, that is shocking. I hate when you just forget stuff that's so obvious. But yeah, Curnow didn't play against Melbourne on Thursday night, which is a real concern, and that's a small sample size, and it's enough for me to get cold feet. So the next pick for this spot was Coleman, one Kitty Coleman. I love this player. He looks really good. Playing a friendly role off half-back, which is nice to see. But yeah, obviously he's done his hamstring. Soft tissue, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we can't pick him. Really unfortunate, and yeah, one DR is pretty flat about. So yeah, it's a massive shame. So the next bloke in line is Ralph Smith, and he was really quiet yesterday in the first half, but ended up on 20 disposals. He's good because he has more kicks than handballs, obviously playing a bit of a half-back style, and 80% disposal efficiency. I think he scored mid-70s in Supercoach, so that's enough for me, and it'd be absolutely absurd if Richmond didn't play in round one because, yeah, he's very good. Played a great game against Geelong as well. He was super busy off half-back and won hardballs. What I liked about that particular game Hugo played against Geelong, there was a scenario where he marked it on the wing and he butchered the kick, like really bad, but he actually followed the kick up and mopped up his bad disposal and dished a handball that was effective. So like he knew that it was a bad kick and he didn't like it. So yeah, I love the Ralph Smith pick, and yeah, if his name's, I think I'm locking him in at this point in time. So yeah, love him as a bit of a pod too. I don't think many will actually go with him. A bit of a forgotten man. I love the mullet as well. So yeah, a bit of a positive there. And Josh Rachele, he backed up what was a stellar performance against Brisbane a week or so ago in the wet. I've always been hyped on this pick, and again, 3 goals against Port Adelaide, who are another very good team. These are top 4 teams Rachele is kicking 3 goals against and doing plenty up the ground as well. Because Adelaide, they're going to get pumped a fair bit this year, but Rachele, he pushes up the ground quite immensely. I did discuss him a little bit more on the Supercoach Mates podcast because it was just a rookie podcast. Check that out, by the way, while I'm talking about it. I really like what they're doing. Follow them on Twitter, Supercoach Mates, and listen to them on podcasts, Apple and Podbean. So, but yeah, I spoke about Rachele on their podcast, and yeah, I was really bullish on it, and I'm super happy to have him in my team. It's not the scoring potential as well. It's the fact that F6 is going to bleed so much. I don't want to play rookie roulette this year. He's just there I think he's got good job security, and I'll take a 50 at F6 as long as he's playing every week. So I think he's going to accumulate a lot of money. So yeah, this is the team for what is the 6th of March 2022. We're not far away now. I'll do a team reveal probably a few days before the real stuff starts, just to recap what I'm actually doing. But yeah, I'm super happy with this team at the moment. I would love to have Ridley, but I can't at the moment. It's, for me, all it is, it's a matter of, is it Ridley or Short, or do you pick Touk Miller, or Paddy Cripps and Matt Rowell? That's what it will probably come down to in my side. Maybe Darcy or Gawn as well, but I'm pretty happy with Darcy at the moment, unless there's any other niggles. But yeah, that's the team update, guys. Let me know what you reckon of it down in the comments. I'm always happy to improvise and take advice from anyone, because it is Supercoach YouTube channel, and people are quite invested this time of the year. So yeah, it should be good. I cannot wait for footy to start. It is so close, and yeah, it's just going to be unreal to get into it. But yeah, I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video.